My name is Marta, and in this Red Gaming Tech video I am here with a bit of a roundup from Blizzcon 2017. Of course, Blizzard save up all the juiciest stuff that they have cooking, and well, they reveal it to us over BlizzCon, the event. Obviously we've got, you know, Starcraft 2 World Championships and stuff going on, but this is like, hey, games and stuff, and we've got Overwatch, and we've got Starcraft, and of course we've got World of Warcraft as well. So, many speculated that we would be getting the reveal of a brand new character for Overwatch at BlizzCon, and we did indeed, and it is a sorely needed, in my opinion, and many other people's opinion as well, support healer by the name of Moira, who actually works for Talon, which is pretty cool. The amount of characters sort of working for the evil side within the Overwatch roster is definitely growing, and I must say I really like the look of her abilities. Kind of reminds me of Zenyatta a little bit, obviously not exactly, but definitely some similarities there, but I really like her design. Looking forward to getting stuck in with her. I am a big sort of tank support player within the game, and looking forward to definitely playing her when she comes out on the PTR. So, there was also a new map announced, but I'm not going to go into that. What we're going to move on to, however, is StarCraft 2. Now, I am terrible at StarCraft 2, but I love it. It's a great game. I mostly play the single player because, you know, Forever Bronze is definitely going to be my life. I do try to get better, but I just don't have the time to dedicate to the game, unfortunately. There's been a very interesting mod put out recently by Total Biscuit, which does look like it's going to make things simpler, and I might give it a go just to see if it will help me kind of get a grasp on things a bit better. Maybe help practice my build orders, not worry so much about all the clicks. Regardless, StarCraft 2 is going to be free to play as of November the 14th, so just a couple of weeks from now. Now, just to clarify, this isn't all of the expansions. This isn't like Legacy of the Void or even Heart of the Swarm. It's going to be Wings of Liberty. However, if you do already own Wings of Liberty, you will get Heart of the Swarm at no additional cost, and ranked multiplayer will also be given to you free, but you will have to unlock it after achieving your 10 first wins of the day. So, say you get Wings for free, and you think, oh, that was really good, I want to play the rest of the single-player campaigns, because the single-player campaigns for all the games are really good. They're going to cost $14.99 each, unless, of course, you already owned Wings. Then, of course, you only have to worry about paying for Legacy of the Void, and, of course, Nova Covert Ops. So, basically, it's just a way to get more people into the game. Obviously, they're doing the whole arcade mode being absolutely free for ages, but this is obviously giving ladder to people for free, and the campaign as well. So they're trying to just, you know, get more players into StarCraft 2, and it's already a really hard game. That's already a pretty high barrier to entry, so getting rid of the cost to at least give the campaign a try, I think is definitely a good move from Blizzard. So, there was a bunch of stuff from Hearthstone, and it's got a new update coming. But the bigger news, the juiciest piece of news, which of course I've left for last because, you know, I'm cruel like that. We have two very big pieces of news for World of Warcraft. The first of which is that we are finally going to be getting a vanilla server officially for the game. Now obviously there was an unofficial one and there's a bit of controversy surrounding that. But we are going to be getting an official classic WoW server. And I've got a statement here from executive producer J. Allen Brack, and he said, quote, "We want to reproduce the game experience that we all enjoy from the original classic WoW." Now, fortunately, no release date was actually revealed, but they did kind of stress that, hey, we're still working on this, don't expect this for a while, but it is coming. You know, maybe late next year, maybe this time next year we'll get it, maybe not. They didn't say, that's the whole point. But obviously this is something that people have wanted for ages, to the point where there was that unofficial one, and Blizzard stressed that it might not happen because it's a lot of work, and more work than perhaps people realise to do it properly. But it is coming, is the point. They've obviously found the demand enough to warrant the time and development money spent on it, and, you know, fingers crossed that it, you know, ends up being as popular as people expect, because I do have a concern that perhaps there's a little bit of nostalgia goggles going on here, and that, you know, perhaps when people go back to play it, they'll be like, oh yeah. But I think a lot of people will be like, yeah, classic WoW. There's been a lot of demand for this, so, you know, I'm pretty damn happy to see this happening, just because it has been in such high demand for absolutely ages. So, the bigger piece of World of Warcraft news was, of course, a new expansion. So, the next expansion is called the Battle for Azeroth, and will actually feature the island of Kul Tiras, and basically you're going to be choosing your allegiance, searching for new allies, and battling it out in the, well, Battle for Azeroth, unsurprisingly or not. Now, I did say you can go to Kul Tiras, but that is for the Alliance. We're going to be having the Zandalar, Empire for those who align themselves with the Horde. And of course, we're going to be getting new allied races. We have the High Mountain Tauren, Void Elves, Dark Iron Dwarves, and others. However, there's also going to be a new resource by the name of Azerite, which is basically going to allow you to customise your armour with some new powers and that sort of thing. So they're adding a bit more customization to the armour that you might already have, as well as, of course, the armour that you're definitely going to acquire during your journey, as you can now level to 120. And obviously, you've got new raids, dungeons, bosses, all that good stuff. A new raid, with 8 new bosses, just to clarify a little bit on my statement there. And perhaps if you've been away from the game a while, there's probably plenty of people who played the game, 3 expansions ago, and just like they can't be bothered with grinding through all the other stuff to get to the appropriate level. You can instantly boost, if you wish, to level 110. So those are what I would call the highlights from the WoW expansion. Obviously there's going to be an absolute ton of new content and obviously new hours to pour into the game. But got a slight sour note to end on here, probably for a lot of you, as well. Blizzard are getting rid of PvP servers entirely. However, that doesn't mean that you can't do PvP anymore. Basically, you opt into PvP in your capital city, and when you do so, you then go to a world with other players who have also then opted in to PvP. I think Blizzard's idea behind this is, players won't feel pressurized to join a PvP server, just because their friends are on it, even though they themselves might not want to do PvP. It basically just, gets rid of that, but still gives people who want to do PvP an option to do so. It is entirely just, hey, opt in, go do the PvP, come back to your capital city, done and dusted, all of that good stuff. Obviously, you can turn it back off at any time if you want, but Blizzard has said that there's going to be some experience bonuses to questing with PvP turned on. So basically, it's just like, hey, another level to the experience, turn it on if you want, quest do your normal thing, PvP with some other players, get some stuff or don't. Entirely up to you. So instead of it being a separate thing, it is just kind of more organically included within the core experience, I suppose you could say. So, no panic, they aren't getting rid of PvP, but they are definitely changing the way PvP is done within the game. However, I would say, overall, pretty good news. You get your WoW Classic, which has definitely been demanded. You get your new expansion, which sounds pretty cool. And, of course, a bunch of other stuff as well. So, that's the highlights of BlizzCon 2017. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.